The Houston Rockets and the Boston Celtics bring contrasting styles to these NBA Finals. Larry Bird and the Celtics finessed their way here with an instinctive passing game, while Hakeem Olajuwon powered and slammed the Rockets past the Lakers. They had beaten the defending champions, and they were riding high with plenty of confidence. The Boston Celtics and the NBA Finals have always gone hand in hand. It is simply their favorite time of year. And in Game 1 against Houston, they utilized their experience. Every time a Celtic moved, a Rocket would jump. The frustration mounted for Coach Bill Fitch as his team's shots wouldn't drop. And their passes wouldn't click. Now the young Rockets must regain their poise for Game 2. And in the Boston Garden, the home of Larry Bird, that is never an easy proposition. It's nighttime on the banks of the Charles River. A city waits. The Celtics and the Rockets are ready for Game 2 of the NBA Final. And welcome to the twinkling lights of Boston, a city that history never forgets. The most famous jockey of all time, Paul Revere, rode his greatest race here. But this week, the Boston Garden gets as much attention as the Old North Church. Folks have been buying peanuts and coming on inside this aging arena for almost 50 years. And once inside, they've seen championship fights. They've watched their beloved Boston Bruins win Stanley Cups here. They have witnessed famous politicians speaking here, some from across the Atlantic. But the Garden is best known because of the Boston Celtics, 15 NBA titles. From Cousy to Bird, from Auerbach cigar smoke to Casey Jones Cool. Now, most who come to play here against the Celtics on the familiar parquet do so with awe and reverence, unless you grew up playing soccer in Lagos, Nigeria. You see, Hakeem Olajuwon of the Houston Rockets, he did not grow up reading about Russell and Heights, and he took one look at the Boston Garden this week and pronounced it a dump. Tonight, Olajuwon and his Houston teammates will attempt to prove their lack of respect for the Celtic mystique. It is Game 2 of the NBA Finals between Boston and Houston. Welcome, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger. Well, you know, the Rockets were beaten convincingly in Game 1 by 12 points, but let's go back to the Western Conference Final. They lost the first game there to the Los Angeles Lakers. Then in Game 2, Ralph Sampson never played better. And then in Game 5, Sampson's twisting last-second shot sent the Lakers off on an early holiday. But Monday against the Celtics, Ralph Sampson never played worse. He shot only 1 of 13. And tonight, which Sampson will show up? The one who burned the Lakers, who was the GOAT against the Celtics?
No question. I came out wanting to get a very fast start, wanting to jump on the Celtics very quickly and try to dominate the game. I'll come out very even, very emotional, but very even. Try to get our team in the flow of the game, running, rebounding, blocking shots into our offense, and try to keep us there the whole 48 minutes. And when it's time for me to take the game over in the game, then I'll have to do it.
So Ralph Sampson has had 3 days to sit here in Boston and brood and think about getting even. And I think he's ready for a big explosion tonight. And for more on the game, let's go downstairs to the gentleman who will call the action, Dick Stockton and Tommy Heinsohn. Dick?
Thank you very much, Brent. Traditionally, Game 2 is the time that the team that lost Game 1 comes out and plays harder and better. And that may be the reason why in the last 8 years in the championship finals, there's been only one occasion when a team won the first 2 games. So we can expect a boost from the Rockets. I think that's almost automatic tonight, whether they win or lose. However, keep in mind that the Boston Celtics are well aware that they feel this is a must game for them, even though they're ahead in the series, because after tonight, they face 3 road games in Houston. And they know that if they're 1-1 going to Houston, that's going to dramatically change the face of this championship finals. Tommy Heinsohn, what exactly do the Rockets have to do to get back into this thing?
The big thing, Dick, is for their big people, Olajuwon and Sampson, to stay out of foul trouble. They have to play with a lot more experience than their years would grant them. They can't get the cheap foul, the reach foul, the reaching from behind, that type of foul. They must also get that running game going to get the big guy's speed unleashed on the fast break. That's where they're devastating. The 3 of them, including Rodney McRae. And certainly, most definitely, they've got to get 20 points from Ralph Sampson and double rebounds.
Speaking of the Boston Celtics, their trademark this year, just, in addition to great passing and scoring balance, has been the ability to put on the defensive pressure and open up a spurt at one time during a game to open it up. It's been uncanny the way they've done it this year, and they did it in Game 1.
Well, a very opportunistic defense. Larry Bird, their free safety, will go over and harass anybody in the low post, cause some problems. I mean, he'll go from left to right, and you know he's there, and you're never quite sure when he's going to get there. Now, the other guy that did a great job playing gamble defense on Lewis Lloyd in a timely fashion, just as they tried to go to Lewis Lloyd, was Dennis Johnson with that good poke check and converts it into an easy 2 points. But what really was outstanding for the guards defensively for the Celtics was their rebounding in Game 1.
All right, Tommy, as Brent mentioned, the Rockets lost to the Lakers in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals by 12, and then they won 4 straight. I don't think they're looking ahead of that right now, but keep in mind that the Rockets know that if they were to win tonight, it would be a feather in their cap. But, Brent, everyone knows how tough it is to do that.
Indeed, Dick, it is so very tough. The Celtics have won 39 straight home games, if you count the 3 played down the road in Hartford. They have lost a game here in the Boston Garden since December, when they were run off the floor by the Portland Trail Blazers. Now, here tonight in Game 2 of this NBA Finals, the Celtics are again heavily favored by 9 points, just as they were in the first game. So sit back and enjoy. Game 2 is coming your way.
CBS Sports coverage of the 1986 NBA Finals is sponsored by Miller Beer. Miller made the American way since 1855. Honda Motorcycles. Honda, follow the leader. And by new Slim Micro Track from Gillette, the essence of shaving.
Where I come from, folks stand proud and tall. They'll look you right in the eye. A place where pride is worth a whole lot more than money can buy. Where people care about their family. Where laughter's sincere. Where your word is your word. A friend's a friend and Miller's the beer. Miller's made the American way. Born and brewed in the USA, just as proud as the people who are drinking it today. Miller's made the American way.
Miller contains no additives, no preservatives. Miller Beer. Purity you can see, quality you can taste.
Miller's made the American way.
This sporty vehicle offers so much variety, it fits right in with today's active lifestyles. The Ford Bronco 2. It's a hit with the jet set, and the wet set, the trail set, and the sail set, the tow set, the snow set, the angler set, and the Wrangler set. And now, you get air conditioning free when you buy a Bronco 2 with a special value package. Also, get 7.9% financing now on a new Ford Bronco 2.
When the big Q flows, America goes.
You there, Mr. Bailey, that's selling the car?
You buying?
Depends. How's it run?
Great. Always on Quaker State.
That's good.
Quaker State means performance. You can depend on quality.
I've heard that.
One-of-a-kind formula. Stable viscosity. Keeps flowing. Protecting.
You sold me.
The car?
And the oil.
Quaker State. The big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will.
We're back at Boston Garden, where Larry Bird has just been introduced. And now we will introduce to you the starting lineups of both teams and their respective coaches. First, for the visiting Houston Rockets, their front court of Ralph Sampson, Rodney McRae, and Hakeem Olajuwon. And in the back court, the veteran Robert Reed and Lewis Lloyd. Bill Fitch, who says he's not pushing the panic button after one game. For the Boston Celtics, the familiar unit of Larry Bird and Kevin McHale at forward and Robert Parrish the center. And in the backcourt, Dennis Johnson and Danny Ainge and Casey Jones, who according to Bird is our coach of the year. The officials working tonight will be Jess Kersey and Hugh Evans. Joe Crawford is the alternate. It is hot and steamy at Boston Garden. Nothing like it was in Game 5 2 years ago with the Lakers. It is 85 degrees, and you can see that Ralph and Hakeem are seeing what it's like in the humid hot box known as Boston Garden. Larry Bird, who was awarded the MVP trophy yesterday, and Kevin McHale, who a lot of people think is an MVP every game he plays.
You know, Dick, the emotions of this game, very important at the start. I think that the Rockets were too emotional in game one. I think they got to come in on a more even keel to start it.
The Celtics will be looking for a 7th consecutive playoff game victory, the first time in its team's history. And Houston controls with Reed. Reed and Lloyd did not play well for Houston in game one. Lloyd especially. Double team. Here's Rodney McCray. Short with the jumper. And Bird gets the rebound.
Part of the strategy is make McCray score for the Celtics.
And also tried for the Houston Rockets to keep Larry Bird busy defensively. McHale up on high. Sampson playing him. Same matchups as game one. Bird going strong to the hoop, trying to pass it, and Reed on the deflection. 2-on-1. Lloyd filling the lane, gives the Rockets the lead.
That's what they need more of. Lewis Lloyd in the open court.
McHale comes right back and ties the game, and you always have to watch out for the quick break back by the Green.
Larry Bird, one of the best at getting that ball up the court after a made basket.
Sampson playing up on high. Reed looking for Olajuwon. Guarded by McHale. Forces a pass. Picked off by Dennis Johnson, who looks like he sprained an ankle in a collision with his own man. Looks to be all right.
Now that's what the Rockets will have to do. Better reading of the defense.
And another steal by Houston, and they have a 4-on-2 opportunity. Lloyd to Sampson. And no basket. We have an offensive foul called against Sampson, and Bill Fitch is up and screaming.
Now Lewis Lloyd should have delivered that ball much sooner to Sampson instead of picking up that foul by Larry Bird. Just smart defense by Larry Bird.
That was a fast break opportunity that went by the boards for the Rockets. Now McHale working on Sampson. Scores. McHale, a great scoring weapon, helped get Ralph into foul trouble early in the first game on Monday.
But he played that one beautifully. Even keel, very conservatively. Don't get in early foul trouble.
Sampson with a sky hook. This is everything. Dennis Johnson, who had 11 rebounds to lead the Celtics in the first game. Harris just missed, and Akeem and Bird collided, and the foul is against Houston. And it's against Akeem Olajuwon, his first.
Boston's fast break is beautiful. They advance it with the pass, and if they catch you with a mismatch, you pay.
And Sampson on McHale and a foul before the shot, and those are the kinds of fouls that Ralph Sampson has picked up that get him in trouble early.
He should not be bodying him on the catch now. He should really release. Don't body him because McHale likes to spin.
McHale's shot is blocked, and goaltending is called against Olajuwon. Credit the hoop to McHale, and the crowd likes what they see in the opening 2 minutes. Robert Reed came on, the swingman, playing in the backcourt as a playmaker. Lloyd looking for Sampson. Parrish has him out pretty far. 3 on the shot clock. And the Rockets are getting off terrible shots, and the Celtics have the ball and the lead.
None of the mix of offense by Bill Fitch has worked so far.
Parrish coming out for a pick. Here's Ainge. So the Celtics have scored 8 in a row after the Rockets' first basket of the game, and a timeout.
Hilton brings you NBA Competition Classics. One is the master of basketball ballet. The other is pure blood and guts. And together, Julius Erving and Larry Bird comprise today's classic matchup. Each have notched MVP seasons and championship rings, but these lofty honors seem to pale to their intense head-to-head rivalry. Erving and Bird epitomize sports competition at its highest level, playing their best against the best.
This summer, the Hilton family invites you and your family to some of the most beautiful places in the world. Join us for the Great American Vacation.
The Great American Vacation. It's more than castles and capitals. It's also Hilton's specially priced vacation rates that make a summer of fun more affordable.
America. She's never looked so beautiful.
Reserve now. Call America's Vacation Hotline, 1-800-HILTONS.
Nissan announces 6.7 annual percentage rate factory-sponsored financing on any new Nissan truck. 6.7 could save you as much as $693 in interest payments on this tough new Nissan with the most power of any leading compact truck. And on this 4x4 hardbody with the biggest engine in any compact truck, 6.7 could save you as much as $1,643. 6.7 now from Nissan for a limited time.
He either frustrates you or he takes command. That's Ralph Sampson, and you can see what he did in game one pales to his playoff average, and that's because the early foul trouble, and he may be getting into that again, Tommy.
Well, we're going to see him trying to play Kevin McHale. He's not a very physical player, but he's trying to play a physical game. He should be using his size against Kevin McHale. Never let him close like that. Keep some distance between and Kevin so he can time the shot. Let him release it. Let him shoot over a hand, and definitely don't go for fakes.
Is this one of the things that Ralph says he expects to work on as he develops his skills in the coming years?
Well, you know, he hasn't played Kevin a lot during the last couple of years. They only play him twice a year, and Kevin has really developed a heck of a lot of good fake action, I think, from watching Larry Bird. So Sampson, over the years, will have to really understand not to go for the fake.
Everyone talks about Kevin McHale being an impossible matchup, and they think because Sampson's 7'4" that equalizes it, but not so much the case. 8-2 as the Celtics have scored 8 in a row, and a quick timeout by Bill Fitch before things get out of hand. Lewis Lloyd with a high rainbow shot misses, and there inside is Sampson coming back offensively, and already he has as many points as he scored in game one.
Very important basket for Ralph Sampson, particularly that type of basket, an offensive rebound.
Lloyd on Dennis Johnson. The Rockets' defense by their guards were subpar. Houston again with a fast break opportunity, loses it on a turnover again. Bird in three-point territory. He came out 2 hours before the game. They had to turn the lights on for him and took shots all over the floor at both ends. And it's paid dividends. And now Sampson going inside and foul. And the personal is on Parrish.
You know, Ralph Sampson in the first game, I believe, was too emotionally high. He was trying to block every shot, make every pass, score every basket. And, you know, you just can't do that. You have to build emotionally into the game. You got to let your game grow with the emotions. He stuck out like the player, the size he is, and he came to the attention of the officials.
He may be one of those players, Tommy, that'll always be a target of the slingshots and doesn't deliver exactly what they expect. He could be one of those. McRae has a fight through a screen by Bird. Parrish keeps it alive. Using Parrish for picks outside. Olajuwon knocks it away. Plenty of time on the shot clock for the Celtics. McRae cuts off the baseline. Parrish. Sampson played him smart there.
Never went for the fake that time, Ralph Sampson.
McRae coming right back. Open is Lloyd inside. And with 4 minutes going by in the first period, the Celtic lead is 3.
They are pushing the ball up much better in this first quarter than I think at any time in the last game, the Rockets.
Rockets are a team with poise. They may get beaten in this series, but they won't lose their poise. Ames drives baseline. But they're going against a team that gets it from 5 starters in Bill Walton. Steal. Ames 2-on-1 with Bird. And the Celtics are up by 7. And Bill Fitch is going to his bench in a hurry.
Poor passing, mental mistakes. That's what Fitch was worried about.
Sampson. McRae on the follow-up. And the Rockets trail by 5 again.
That's where McRae can really help. Crash the boards while Bird is playing that free safety defense.
Celtics have shot 7 of 10. They were over 50%, all 5 starters were. 8 out of 11 for Boston as McHale gives them a 7-point lead again.
Sampson gave up the good position.
Double team on Ralph. And Sampson now with 6 of the Rockets' 12.
When they make the hard push up the court, the Rockets, Sampson gets better low post position.
McHale trying to get an inside spot. Sampson yelling for 3 seconds. McHale misses. And here's Lewis Lloyd. Ralph just saw that ball bounce, didn't go after it. It was a bit surprised. Robert Reed, long distance. And it's now 17-14. The Celtics scored 8 in a row early, and the Rockets have hung in there.
You know, they make mistakes, the Rockets, but they always are around the score.
McHale to Parrish. Nearly halfway through this opening period. Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn at Boston Garden on a hot, steamy night, and another sellout as usual. Lewis Lloyd running it in, and it's 3 again, Boston.
Lewis Lloyd said, I want to hit my first jump shot. They've got him in the game. He can be tough.
Ball knocked away. Celtics have turned it over. Sampson on the steal, and it'll be Houston ball to Larry Bird's dismay. Yesterday, given the MVP award for the 3rd consecutive year, and only Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain ever won the MVP award 3 straight years. In the game is Mitchell Wiggins, good defensive player, streak shooter in for Lloyd.
But they got a lot of good offense out of Lewis Lloyd.
Surprised at the early substitution?
Yes, I am.
Olajuwon with his first shot of the game and his first point. The Rockets are down by 1. Bill Fitch told us he'd take him out early if he didn't produce. Ames goes up and is fouled. Lloyd, by the way, scored 6 points. Was he not doing the job defensively?
I think his ball handling, more than anything else, was concerning Bill Fitch.
There is Lewis Lloyd out of Overbrook High School in Philadelphia. Went to military school in New Mexico and ended up in Drake in Des Moines, Iowa. Originally with Golden State. Hearing a few from Bill Fitch there.
I'll tell you, Casey Jones is as worried about him as he is about Sampson and Olajuwon.
Reed committed the foul, and here is Ainge. And Danny Ainge has now made 22 consecutive free throws in the playoffs. Celtics by 3, 5:14 to go in the opening period. Wiggins guarded by Bird. And Mitchell Wiggins, who got hot in the first couple of games against the Lakers. And if he gets hot, he can help the Rockets.
That is a big shot for him. Popping out behind a pick. He's usually better on the break getting those jumpers.
Ainge fall away. And Sampson comes down with it. His 3rd rebound of this period. Under 5 minutes to go, opening session.
But he held on to it too long.
Reed fall away. And a loose ball foul called against Houston. Rodney McRae was in there for the boards, and he'll get hit.
What a play by Dennis Johnson. That's why he is such a smart defensive player, to step in there as a guard and block off a big man. That time it was McRae.
Good matchup here with Wiggins on Dennis Johnson. He says, I want to do to Dennis what I did to Magic Johnson. Let him dance a bit. Take 6 or 7 seconds bringing it up.
Well, they're much more aggressive. They're getting out tighter against the Boston guards than they did in game 1.
Bird had the ball in good position and found the open man, Parrish. Parrish was the leading scorer for the Celtics with 23 in Monday's opener. Olajuwon triple team, and it worked. Celtics by 3. Ainge to Dennis Johnson. And Olajuwon in the pack. Can't get the outlet pass. Reed pushes it up.
Nobody pulled to the side to get the outlet pass.
McRae working to Wiggins. Fouled from behind. 4 minutes exactly remaining in the first period. Ainge foul.
You want to see court savvy in action. Bird just mesmerizes Olajuwon with the fake and then slips it nicely to Robert Parrish for the 2.
Rockets, a lot of people think ahead of schedule. 3 years they went from 14 to 51 victories in a division title, then shocked the Lakers in the Western Finals. Now they got their hands full against the traditional team. Olajuwon is fouled. He'll go to the line. Here's the rebounding story early. The Celtics had the edge by a slim margin in game 1, and it's tight again.
And they did a very nice job with 5 guys rebounding, but that last play, Kevin McHale picked up the foul, but he played good defense. He forced Olajuwon to the fall-away jump shot.
Bill Walton has come in. Parrish goes out with 4 points. And Walton, who is virtually flawless in 18 minutes, 5 for 5 from the field, and his terrific rebounding, comes in early. Larry Bird yesterday, when he accepted the MVP award, said the one thing Olajuwon has to work on, and I think he's one of the greatest, is his free throw shooting. 62% coming into this game.
Well, there's no question he's going to get fouled a lot. He's got a lot of practice in the games. if he doesn't even practice them on the court.
Tommy, is Casey Jones wary of the heat here tonight? That's why he's making that early substitution up front?
Could be. Big guys tire out quicker.
Celtics a little sloppy with ball handling at times. Sampson blocks Walton's foray. Reed, long pass, but Bird was there. Can't do that when Larry Bird is back. He has too much anticipation.
Look how quickly he got the ball to the attack deck.
The little things, they're not so little, I guess, that Larry Bird does.
Up quick with the ball. Don't dribble, don't hold it. Get it up fast.
Hakeem. And it's 25-23 with 3:06 to go first period. The Celtics had a 7-point lead. At one time, ran off 8 in a row, but Houston has hung in there. And they call Wiggins for the pushing foul. 2:57 remaining in this first period. An official timeout with the Celtics leading the Rockets by 2.
The essence of Scully. Never been a hull like this. So trim. Feels like there's nothing between me and the water. The essence of shaving. This is new Micro-Track. The incredible new disposable from Gillette. Unlike the Big Shaver, Micro-Track has a slim head and shaves your beard closer.
The new Micro-Track razor by Gillette.
At Midas, we've always been proud of the job we do. A lot of our new customers are referred to us by our old ones.
Howdy, boys.
Welcome back, Mr. Creedy. You see, good service, good prices. The word gets around. Like our fantastic anniversary sale. We're giving you 25% off every Midas muffler. A sale like this doesn't come along every day.
Take it to Midas. I love a sale. Take it to someone you trust.
Today's automotive world is filled with compromise. To get luxury and performance, you have to sacrifice value. Nissan disagrees. Witness the luxurious 1987 Maxima. Its heart and soul is the fuel-injected overhead cam V6 from our legendary Z car. The 1987 Maxima, a powerful rebuttal to the notion of compromise. The name is Nissan, America's #1 selling import car.
This is cycling's most punishing one-day competition, the Paris-Roubaix Bicycle Race, this weekend on CBS Sports Saturday.
You're going to see Larry Bird's court savvy right here on the shot. He's going to protect the backcourt to make sure that the Rockets don't get a fast break. As soon as he sees the shot go up, there he is backing up to protect. There's 2 men coming at him, and he plays the passing angle and quickly down the sideline. The Celtics love to advance the ball down there. No pressure usually. They get the ball at you, and you're under the gun. And they'll find the open man probably better than Houston will.
Let's take a look at the shooting. And the Rockets, who shot 47% in game 1, are well up. And, of course, the Celtics were 56%. Both teams shooting extremely well. But would you say the Rockets are playing a tighter defense outside? They're making the Celtics work a lot more to get it in.
They're up, and they're taking a little time off the clock on every advance of the ball by the 2 Boston guards, Ainge and Dennis Johnson. And they're playing with a little less emotion, and they're playing with their heads a little bit more than they did in the first quarter of the first game.
Here's Dennis Johnson, who was fouled by Wiggins before the timeout. He had the best all-around game of any Celtic in the opener, but that's no surprise because he rises to the occasion in games like this.
What really showed me what a great player Dennis Johnson is his blocking out of the big people of the Rockets on the defensive board.
All 5 Celtic starters have scored. Under 3 minutes remaining in the first period, 27-23 Boston. Only Houston lead was first bucket of the ball game. 7 on the shot clock. McRae with 3 seconds gets it into Sampson. Hits the hook shot from the baseline.
But they took an awful lot of time off the clock to get that shot off.
Casey Jones told us before game 1, I don't mind matching big guys in a half-court game. And you pointed out the Rockets need to run to really do it against Boston.
They also have to get a good shot out of that set up.
Walton inside, not that time. He had a good position, and they're going to call a Celtic foul. after the Rockets got the rebound, and it'll be the second foul on Danny Ainge. Now, one thing the Celtics didn't face was foul trouble in the backcourt in game one.
That's where I feel they're vulnerable, Dick. Without Scott Wedman, the Rockets have big guards. The next Celtic guard is Jerry Seasting at 6'1". Scott
Wedman has fractured ribs, not playing. This shot by Wiggins, rebound by Walton. Under 2 minutes to go, first period. Celtics lead 27-25.
All the Rockets got back fast that time.
Dennis Johnson, no good. Sampson with another rebound. Now a chance for the Rockets to tie it up. Sampson, good pass from Robert Reed to the trailer.
That's getting it to the sideline and then cutting straight to the hoop. The big guys of the Rockets are running.
We didn't see that in game one. And now Ainge overthrows McHale, turns it over to the Rockets, and with a minute and a half to go, the score is tied, and the Celtics are not playing textbook basketball by any stretch. Olajuwon goes up and gives the Rockets their second lead of the ball game.
Well, he turns to the middle. That makes them really tough. That time, Danny Ainge didn't get down quick enough on the double.
Akeem and Ralph have 17 of the Rockets' 29 points. Bird working against McCray. And Larry Bird, 7 points, including a three-pointer in this first period.
That time, they played Bird one-on-one.
Minute to go. Olajuwon in on McHale, and he draws the foul.
That's bullshit.
And that may be against Kevin McHale. It is. It'll be his second personal foul.
Other than Bird, I think Bill Fitz would like to get Kevin McHale out of the game because he's as constant offensively as Boston's got. McHale, and strong move by Olajuwon to take it, and that spin move to the baseline. McHale tried to cut him off, but ends up with the foul.
Robert Parrish comes back into the ball game for the Celtics, and McHale goes out with 2 personal fouls. So that's one dimension, although it's inconclusive yet, that the Rockets were not able to pursue in game one, and that is Casey Jones having to make early moves with his big men.
Well, the 2 big men of the Rockets are really performing offensively a little bit better than the Celtics big guys are.
1 out of 2 for Olajuwon. Continues to struggle from the free throw line. Dennis Johnson as Wiggins guarding. 9 on the shot clock. Dennis Johnson goes up, and they call the pushing foul against Mitchell Wiggins, and Dennis Johnson drew that well.
Dennis Johnson going more to his offense in this first half than he did in game one. He didn't really get it going until the second half. I didn't think he'd be going into the low post quite as much against these 2 shot blockers as he's shown so far in this game.
First free throw is good. Dennis Johnson with a fine all-round game in the opener, as we said, had 11 rebounds to lead the Celtics. We're tied at 30. 38 seconds to go. Dennis Johnson breaks the tie. Celtics had any problems in game one, it was from the free throw line. Leading by a point. Reed being shadowed by Ainge. Sampson comes out high. Olajuwon. Bird comes out of nowhere. Nearly made the steal. Three-point attempt by Reed. Sampson is there for the rebound. And Walton clears it. Olajuwon got it away for a while. And now a wild throw. The Celtics claim Wiggins got a piece of it. And the officials checking with each other. It'll be Houston ball. And staying calm all the way is Casey Jones.
Mr. Calm.
Final seconds of the first period. Celtics led by 6 after 1 period in game one. McCray. Olajuwon. Doesn't go, and that's the end of the first period with the score, the Celtics 31 and the Rockets 30. And we'll return to Boston Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, where it's hot and tight after this word from your local station.
This is CBS.
You always hurt the one you love.
People have a love-hate relationship with their cars. They love them, but they don't always treat them right. Yet amazingly, over 90% of all Subarus registered since 1974 are still on the road. Now imagine how much longer they would last if people didn't love them so much.
Test drive a new 1986 Subaru at your local dealer today.
Your child is ill or injured, you want immediate medical attention.
Physicians and nurses at the Pediatric Urgent Care Center of Wolfson Children's Hospital are specialists in pediatric emergency medicine, providing rapid treatment that's affordable. If what looks simple isn't, the Children's Hospital is here. Located in the Emergency Center at Baptist, we keep kids hours, weeknights and weekends. Call 3-We Care for our parents brochure today.
We care for your child and give that special touch.
America's game. It's fantastic.
They call it the Hub, one of the most beautiful cities in North America, Boston, Massachusetts. And inside Boston Garden, where the Celtics have won 39 consecutive games at home, this is Dick Stockton and Tom Heinsohn for game number 2 of the NBA Finals. The championship on the line. Celtics won the first game by 12 points, and they're trying to tack up banner number 16 in the rafters. But the Houston Rockets, who are the surprise opponents, winning the West over the Lakers, hanging in there and trailing 31-30 after one period. Bill Fitch, their coach, who once led the Celtics to a title.
I'll tell you, Bill Fitch knows how tough it is to coach here in Boston. I'll tell you that. It's probably the toughest coaching job in the NBA, because if you win a championship, everybody goes, so what? It's just another one.
And you know, and you won 2 here for the Celtics. We saw Jerry Sichting come into the ball game for the Celtics. Both teams shot extremely well in the first period. Dennis Johnson goes out of the ball game. All his points coming from the line. And so Sichting is in there. He'll have a height disadvantage against most of the Rocket guards.
Well, let's see if the Rockets exploit that.
Steal by Robert Reed, who missed the shot. Danny Ainge upset him just enough. Parrish back in. He hits from the corner. Robert Parrish. The Rockets have failed on many fast break opportunities so far.
Well, they're getting them, and sooner or later they're going to pay off. But they got to make them pay when they're running.
Walton and Ainge double Olajuwon. McHale remains on the bench with 2 fouls. Reed misses. Sampson had it and lost it. Sichting going strong to the hoop. No foul, no harm, I guess. Reed is on the floor, and the Rockets wind up with the ball. McRae picked up by Walton. Bird just lurking. McRae using his quickness against Walton inside. Can't lay it up. And Parrish. Sampson got hit in the eye, and he's bleeding. He's bleeding from the left eye as Parrish won that duel. Danny Ainge, long-range shot. Sampson wants a timeout, a 20-second timeout. He was hit in the left eye. So they're going to have to bring out their cut man early in round 1.
You know, one of the things that they really hate is when ball players don't cut their fingernails. I don't know what really happened here, but a lot of times that's what happens. Somebody's fingernail gets them. But watch the battle of the Giants. Olajuwon bangs. Parrish can't hold on to it. And there's Sampson. And Parrish, with the little touch, must have hit him in the cheek with the elbow.
Ralph Sampson is starting off ablaze with 10 points and 6 rebounds. So he is coming back to answer the critics just as he did in game 2, as Brent pointed out in Los Angeles. Check the elbow here.
Right now, he hits him as he comes down to get the ball right on the cheek.
And Ralph Sampson will go to the locker room. And replacing him will be Jim Peterson, who has emerged as a reliable front court reserve at 8 points and 4 rebounds in 23 minutes. But Sampson has played well, and this has to hurt the Rockets.
They played a lot of minutes, the Twin Towers, the whole first quarter.
Celtics by 3, 33-30. Olajuwon over Walton, who got a hand in the face. Akeem lets it go, and it's Celtic ball. Jess Kersey makes the call. So here's Jim Peterson, second year out of Minnesota, who was taught a few lessons by Kevin McHale in the opening game.
He's going to have to bang real hard against Robert Parrish, who's used to blocking out centers and that power forward.
Bird looking for the open man, finds him again. Jerry Seasting.
The Rockets defense was not coordinated that time. They doubled and then didn't rotate.
Olajuwon inside is fouled as Seasting, helping out, commits the foul. There's our look at Seasting, who came over from Indiana in a deal. Celtics got Walton to back up Parrish, and they needed a good outside shooter off the bench, and that was Jerry Seasting. Timeout.
Witness the beginning of a new legend. New Jeep Wrangler. The possibilities are endless.
Excuse me. Yes. How much is it going to cost?
I don't know. I'll have to ask.
Look, is my car ready yet?
I don't know. I'll have to ask. Is this warranty good into view?
Every day, more and more Americans are becoming less satisfied with their car care. That's why Firestone developed MasterCare. With prices posted at the counter, MasterCare services that are warranted coast to coast and your car ready when promised. Because at Firestone, we're not satisfied until you're satisfied.
America driving to Firestone.
Introducing the totally redesigned Honda Shadow. On the one hand, it could be the most radically styled custom ever made. On the other hand, looks aren't everything. The new Shadow from Honda.
Saturday.
I am not sure what she's looking for.
A desperate mother, an unscrupulous father, and a missing child lead Magnum into the shadowy world of black market babies.
Ralph Sampson left the court with a cut on the eye, and Pat O'Brien has been inside to check out what's going on. Pat, what did you find?
Dick, as a matter of fact, it's a mean cut. It's about 1.5 inches long and 1/4 of an inch high, right on the bone here. It must be very painful because he looked as though he was in a lot of pain. In fact, he said he was in a lot of pain. They are now putting sutures in it. They're sewing him up. They said he should be back in the game in a few minutes, but it looks very... Let's go back to Dick.
All right, Tommy, let's talk about the Boston Celtics and Bird's uncanny ability here.
Well, this is court savvy. You're going to see them get the ball into low post to Larry Bird and then double him. You'll see Seasting right here going to make a move to the hoop, but the whole weak side of the Rockets defense is not in a help position. They do not get there to rotate in order to help enough, and it ends up an easy layup. Robert Reed a little late that time.
On the offense, the Rockets are 0 for 4 this period after shooting 54% in the opening session. But the game is to remain tight, and 9:56 remain. Kevin McHale, who picked up 2 fouls in the first period, has come into the ball game. So has Dennis Johnson for the Celtics. So they will have 4 of their starting 5. Seasting, the only other one.
You know, the Celtics feel if they can get this man to shoot the fall-away jump shot, even though he hits it, eventually he'll miss some, and he will not be in a position to get the offensive rebound. That's what really concerns him.
And he continues to miss chances to get 2 points when he goes to the line. Lloyd is on Dennis Johnson. Lloyd came out for Wiggins. He's back in the ball game. McRae trying to deny Bird the ball. Parrish. McRae's doing a good defensive job on Bird. He hasn't gotten inside at all. Parrish has to put it up with 2 seconds on the clock. Seasting crashing the boards, but it's Houston's possession. Good defense by McRae on Bird.
A little weak side rebounder, though, and Jerry Seasting trying to hold on.
How did he get in there? Peterson outside, trying to cut off the passes. McHale. Now Reed.
Well, they've taken McHale off of Olajuwon, put Parrish on him.
Olajuwon gets fouled again as he goes up with a shot, and that will be against Seasting, his second. Here's the shooting story so far in the game. As we mentioned in this period, the Rockets 0 for 4. So the shooting has dropped off in the first 3 minutes of this second period, and Olajuwon again on the line, and once again we'll see if he can make the 2 free throws.
Now, Robert Parrish, I don't think likes to play Olajuwon because Olajuwon is quicker and more mobile, and that's why Casey Jones assigned McHale to him.
So here's Olajuwon, who, by the way, had more offensive rebounds in game 1 than total rebounds by either McHale or Parrish. He is the next great center in the game who has arrived, but he's got to practice the free throw line. He's 1 for 2 on 4 straight trips in the game. Winding down to 9 minutes to go in the first half. Bird, MVP 3 straight years. Puts it up. Dennis Johnson, timing. That's all that was. Keeps it alive for the Celtics. Into Parrish. Over Akeem. McHale is there with the long reach, and he's fouled. Celtics claim goaltending, and no call from Jess Kersey. McHale will have to be satisfied to go to the free throw line. And the foul is against Robert Reed, his second.
And McHale took a Lloyd Free type of shot. Watch him spread out the legs now to draw some contact and draw the attention of the officials. There's a little goaltending. It was a little short of the rim. No basket, was it?
Well, it looked like it might have gone as goaltending, but McHale hitting the free throw.
He has so many moves, Dick, in that low post. And when he feels you, you are dead dark. Because on the catch, he makes the best moves in the NBA.
Great reach. I don't know if anyone has ever blocked his shot. Got about Kareem Skyhook.
Well, Sampson ought to be able to do it at 7-4.
36-32. The Rockets have scored 2 points only this period. Olajuwon, arcing shot is good, and Akeem has 12. Here's Ralph Sampson coming out of the locker room with the sutures in place. Pat O'Brien gave us a report, and we'll see how long it is before Ralph comes back in. Lloyd on Dennis Johnson. Bird. Harris. And Peterson boxing out, getting the rebound for the Rockets, who can tie it up. Nearly 4 minutes elapsed, second period.
But Olajuwon never left the ground that time. Good move.
Bird gets the rebound for the Celtics on Olajuwon's miss. It's a 4-on-2, and Dennis Johnson gets the basket and the foul for the Celtics, and does a somersault to boot.
You know, the Celtics, Dick, do not have as much speed as the Rockets, but they sure can get it up the court faster than the Rockets.
5 stitches on Ralph Sampson. There is Greg Kite, 6'11", and he can bang, and did a good job against Olajuwon in his brief time in game 1. Parrish goes out. The foul was on Robert Reed, who has picked up 3 now. Thus, Alan Level gets the call from Bill Fitch. He's a veteran guard who's good at up-tempoing the action. Alan Level hasn't yet found his shooting range, and Reed goes out. Reed struggled, 1 for 5 from the field.
Well, he's got to hit the outside shot, and Sampson, I hope that eye doesn't close so that he can see the hoop.
I think it's under enough. We're going to call a pushing foul against the Celtics as Danny Ainge comes in for Jerry Seasting. Foul is on Kite, his first foul, and has been rewarded with a new long-term contract by the Celtics.
Well, Greg Kite plays a lot of basketball against Olajuwon down in Houston. Probably knows Olajuwon's moves better than anybody on the Celtics.
Kite in his 3rd year, been in the finals each year. Defending Akeem now. Peterson going to Akeem. Double with McHale. Peterson goes up, stripped away by Danny Ainge. Looking for Bird, low toss. And Akeem knocks it away into the hands of McRae. 3-on-2 for Houston. Here's Lewis Lloyd. And it doesn't drop for the Rockets, who trail by 5. And the Celtics will try to match their biggest lead if they score here. Bird gives it to him. Celtics are up by 7 with 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Level. And Sampson getting set to come back in. And another Celtic foul. That'll put him into the penalty, and the Rockets will shoot. So Ralph Sampson will come back in. He's got the 5 stitches on the eye. Danny Ainge has picked up his 3rd personal foul. And Tom and I will be back at Boston Garden.
Legends of the NBA. The best come through. Sponsored by Schick.
Game 5 of the 1970 finals, and Captain Willis Reed is sidelined by injury. But his teammates stage an incredible 18-point comeback, highlighted by Bill Bradley's clutch jumper.
Cassie drives left, picked up by Chamberlain in the corner. Outside Bradley, one-hander from 20. Yes! We're tied at 87.
Bradley sparks New York to a critical fifth-game victory.
For close, clean shaves. Shave after shave.
I need to get, you better get, gotta get Schick.
And this is Bunker Hill, where in 1775, the Americans defeated the British in General Gage in a big battle. We've got a different kind of skirmish going on here at Boston Garden. Game 2, the Celtics leading 1-0. Lead the Rockets 41-34. McHale's Army and all the signs here at the Garden.
Well, they don't like red coats or red shirts here in Boston, Dick. You're going to see McHale come up with a great Bird, a great fake. Olajuwon never knew where the ball was. Bird gets you moving one way or the other.
Tommy, what about the tempo of this game right now?
The tempo of this game, Dick, is very much in favor of the Rockets. If they could have executed the fast break better, they'd be ahead.
Right now, let's go to Pat O'Brien.
Thank you, Dick. We're with Sarah Sampson, who is Ralph's mother. Do you hurt when Ralph get injured like that?
No, you know, not minor injuries, no.
I understand Ralph tells me that you're one of his biggest critics on the court. How's he doing tonight?
Well, he was doing real good until he fell, but he'll come back and play well.
You used to play basketball yourself. Ralph told me you have a great outside hook shot.
Yes, I told Ralph that, you know, anybody that is taught us he should have a hook shot. So I took him to the gym one day and showed him how to hook.
What'd you tell him quickly after game 1?
That he had a bad game. Forget about it and come out and show him that he can play.
Mother's advice. Let's go back to Dick.
Unfortunately, a lot of people won't let him forget it. But right now, he's responded. In fact, Tommy, the Twin Towers have 22 points. The rest of the Rocket team only 12 right now.
Well, the guards, Lewis Lloyd got off to a good start, and then Bill Fitch lifted him, and Wiggins' replacement didn't come along, nor has McRae played as well in this game so far as he did in game 1.
Seasting is back in, and Ainge had to be taken out when he picked up his third. Give and go to Lloyd. Pick and roll, and Sampson passing to Lloyd. Akeem getting his first rest of the game, has 12 points so far.
Well, he played all those minutes and not a huff and a puff to be seen.
I think that's going to be his trademark for a long time. Bird on a pick and roll to McHale, and he's fouled. They have Peterson and Lloyd inside, and the Celtics work that play well.
We're going to see a little pick and roll play, a fake to the pick, and then Lloyd reverses beautifully, catches Dennis Johnson without knowing where the ball was. Easy hoop for Lloyd.
So McHale is on the line. Talk about Celtic balance. Danny Ainge is the only starter who has not hit in double figures in every playoff game for the Celtics. Only 2 occasions. And all the Celtics have scored, and they're getting to that double-figure mark. Scott Wedman, who has fractured ribs, and Casey Jones says he's not counting on him in the series.
I think they're going to miss him as this series develops because they'll have less options. He can play in the backcourt and in the front court.
6:15 to go in the first half. Level. He is playing actually with a broken bone in his wrist, the left wrist, and has been struggling, shooting just 27% from the field. Trying to get the shooting eye back. Celtics can establish their biggest lead of the ball game. Bird, fall away. And the Celtics are up by 9, and Larry Bird has 11.
Boy, all he needs is a half-inch. He gets that shot off.
Peterson setting a screen. Lloyd going inside, blocked by McHale, out of bounds. And DJ, Dennis Johnson, gives him a hand. Lloyd went right around Dennis Johnson, and McHale picked him up.
Good fake by Lloyd, allows him to get a step on Johnson, but McHale, you see how nicely the Celtics weak side defenders rotate.
30 block shots coming into the game for McHale in the playoffs. Level, long range. Peterson is there. That was a wild shot by Level. Lloyd with 2 men on him. Peterson keeps it going against McHale, draws the foul. So 2 former Minnesota stars, Jim Peterson and Kevin McHale, hooking up. And that foul will not be against McHale, who was in there, but Greg Kite, who commits his second.
I tell you, Kite is cleaning out and really blocking out the way you have to block out the Rockets. He's keeping the people on his back. He's stepping to them before they get to their leap.
Played 64 games, the most of his career this season. His 3rd year out of Brigham Young.
Now here's a guy that's really come along for them, particularly on the offensive glass. And they have a tendency, most teams, to forget him. And when you do, who's going to get the offensive rebounds?
He has played a lot with Akeem or Ralph on the bench and has produced, especially when both of the Twin Towers got hurt during the season. 5:11 remaining in the first half, 45-38 in favor of the Celtics. Bird in 3-point range, hits another. That's 2 tonight for Larry Bird, and the Celtics have opened up a 10-point lead, and Bird is shooting 6 of 8 in the game. And maybe that 2-hour shoot-around for him before the game worked for him.
He tries to demoralize you with that outside shot. Save it for the right time.
And a Celtic foul. Sampson going in there, and Kite once more trying to establish territory, and he'll pick up his 3rd foul.
They're going to have one guy around him. They start to build a house. There's Kite giving them body. There's Bird. Dennis Johnson around. And they're going to call a foul on Greg Kite.
Kite gets a hand. And Walton comes back in. And here's how the teams have been shooting. Rockets struggling. Celtics at 50% this period. And the Rocket guards, Tommy, are shooting just a little over 30%, so they have not given support to the front court so far.
Lewis Lloyd is a guy that they really have to go to in order to get their guards going. Reed is a standstill jump shooter, and when he's not hitting, it's not likely that he's going to start hitting in the second half.
As is the case with street shooters everywhere. 4:40 remaining in the first half. Dennis Johnson. And level the rebound. Celtics have not had many second shots, but they've made a lot of the first ones count. McRae. And the Rockets continue to have an abominable shooting period. Bird is fouled by McRae.
Walton really, when he rebounds, gets that ball out quickly to trigger whatever speed the Celtics have into fast break action.
Well, the Celtics made hay with Olajuwon on the bench, but Akeem is back. I don't know if anyone can stop number 33, Bird, who has 14 points in the game.
Families have come to us. They believe in liberty, Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Our house is special to us, so we shopped around for homeowners insurance.
Liberty Mutual gave us the right protection at the right price. We believe in liberty.
America believes in liberty. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I've never done a commercial, ever. But then I talked to the people at Renault about this. It's the Alliance, and it's a splendid piece of machinery. Design, comfort, even the darn paint convinced me that this fellow needs to be talked about. I was also convinced that the Renault Alliance is one of the best kept secrets on 4 wheels. Well, I'm here to change all that.
The moon's coming up with a sight to see. The radio's playing for my baby and me, and we're rolling. Rolling on the river. Rolling on the river, feeling happy, feeling free.
Hey, get rolling on the Honda Rebel. Take it from the Wolfman at $14.98. It's a bike you can afford to be seen on, baby.
Rolling on the Rebel, feeling happy, feeling free.
Here at Boston Garden, where the Celtics lead the Rockets by 9, it's over 90 degrees inside the old arena built in 1928. And during the timeout, the fans were chanting, "Beat L.A." Brent Musburger, why was that?
I'll show you the reason why, Dick. Because coming up at the half, we've got all the late breaking news for you, including those coaching changes in the NBA. And also, Pat O'Brien will take a look at Akeem Olajuwon's incredible rise and our special guest and the reason why they are chanting. We'll have Magic Johnson live. Oh, if you think that famous smile is because he's from Hollywood, think again. There's his trademark, and folks, it's been with him all his life. The Magic Man. Hey, they still love you here, Magic. They miss you.
But that's all right. I'm glad they're chanting. Hopefully we'll be back next year.
What do you think about the first half now? Houston have a chance to come back here?
Well, I think it hurt them that Ralph got hurt, and they got a chance. You know, it's a long way. Second half's going to be a dance.
All right, we'll be back talking to you. Let's go back down to Dick and Tommy. Dick.
Thank you very much, Brent. And before the game, when Larry Bird was taking his shots 2 hours before, as you look at the field goal percentage this period, Magic went over to Larry and said, "I wish I were with you." And Bird says, "I don't." Akeem Olajuwon back in the ball game. He's the high scorer for the Rockets with 12. Bird leads the Celtics with 14. Peterson is guarding Bird, and Olajuwon is on Walton. 9 on the shot clock. Seasting. Split pass to Walton. And those two are the new additions to the Celtics this year.
I'll tell you, that was a great heads-up play by Jerry Seasting. He had nothing but blue sky to get the jumper off, but he saw an easier one for Walton.
And the Celtics with the biggest lead of 11 points now, with 3:45 remaining in the first half. Seasting helping Walton. Good pass, Peterson to Sampson, who makes no hesitation on that stuff.
They spent 2 hours working on the double team and how to pass and find the open man. That time was picture booked by the Rockets.
Lead is 9. Walton playing outside to remove Akeem from the defensive boards. Doubled with Lloyd and Peterson. They find McHale though inside. McHale there for the follow-up.
Both players afraid to foul, backed off.
Neither of them is in foul trouble, as Olajuwon and Sampson only have 1 foul apiece. Peterson. Knocked out. Lloyd. Only Ralph could have caught that pass, and he scores from the corner with under 3 to go in the first half.
I'm telling you, the Rockets' inside game's starting to heat up.
Sampson 15, Olajuwon 12. Lloyd has 8.
You know, that time they handle it so well, it's going to make the Celtics and Casey Jones think about that doubling tactic.
Bird goes up and draws the foul.
Take a look at this fine pass by Jerry Seasting to Bill Walton underneath. He sees Akeem leave him. That leaves Walton all alone for the easier shot. That's what the Celtics are famous for, passing up the short 2 for an easier one.
McHale goes out of the game. He has scored 13, and Robert Parrish returns in. And we're seeing a lot more shuttling of the big man for Casey Jones in this game. An early appearance by Kite and moving Walton and Parrish and McHale around.
Well, it's hot in this building right now. The Rockets have controlled the tempo. Casey Jones doesn't want any of his big people to get a tired foul.
The Celtics 12 out of 13 from the free throw line. They took 11 more shots from the stripe than did the Rockets in game 1. And they're up by 11. 2.5 to play, first half. Sampson. Making like a guard. Peterson in there. Over Walton with the basket. But you don't want Sampson too much out there.
They've got triple towers in there right now, and Bird better get to Peterson to block him off. He can't play him like McRae.
Bird, guarded by Peterson, puts a move on him. Parrish, if that Bird hits outside. Larry Bird with 18 points. So the one thing he didn't do so much in game 1 was scoring. And he's making up for that so far tonight. He's hit his last 4.
Bill Fitch saying, I'm going to put Peterson on you, Larry Bird, and pound on you.
Peterson, nowhere to go. Out to level. Lead is 11, 56 to 45 Celtics. Olajuwon in the crowd, and it drops for him.
What a move. I'm telling you, and bodies are going to fly around here now with 3 big guys in for the Rockets and 3 for the Celtics. A lot of blocking out going on.
When we say in the beginning of the series, the action's going to be inside the paint and above the rim. Johnson gets it to Walton, picked off by Peterson.
I tell you, he's got his head into the rotation of the defense.
Lloyd going strong inside, tipped up and in by Olajuwon, and Hakeem with 16 points, 8 in each period.
Bird is very upset that nobody got to Olajuwon to block him out.
And a delay of game warning called against the Houston Rockets. A lot of times teams, to prevent the opposition after a made basket from getting a break on, will kind of kick or knock the ball away.
You know, when Olajuwon comes steaming up on that fast break, there aren't too many people going to step in his way to block him off the boards, particularly guards.
Celtics lead is 7. And a Rocket foul. Both teams are in the penalty. Will send Dennis Johnson to the free throw line.
Here's what Bird was upset about. You see Olajuwon now with nobody blocking him out. And Barish was guarding Lloyd, but Seasting never got in there to put a body on Olajuwon, and I don't blame him.
3 fouls for Lloyd. So Lloyd and Reed, the starting backcourt, both having off-night shooting thus far, each with 3 fouls. In fact, the Rocket backcourt shooting a meager 33%. Celtics have won 39 in a row at home. Their only loss was to Portland relatively early in the season. 12-1 in the playoffs. Wiped out Chicago in 3, Atlanta in 5, and Milwaukee in 4 straight to get here.
It's not a bad tactic, I think, Bill Fitch is employing now, the triple towers. And it's really giving the Rockets some size.
9-point game. Olajuwon. That's the kind of shot that the Celtics made him take. And they're going to call Ralph Sampson with his second foul in there.
How does Larry Bird out-rebound a 7'4" guy? He knows how to block out and hold that extra count so that the man can't get into the play. You watch Bird now. Just take that out in front of his face so that even a bigger player must come over the top and probably will end up fouling him.
Most of his rebounds below the rim.
Oh, absolutely. You don't have to be a great leaper, Dick, to be a good rebounder. You have to carve out some position for yourself and control an area. And that's what Bird does so well on the rebounds.
For the series, Larry Bird says, I don't want to pay any attention to looking at films of Houston. Why should they be put on a pedestal? We should be put there. And I think he doesn't let them have the kind of letdowns that mortal teams seem to have.
I'll tell you, he's been sky high for this one. He's been peppering the newspapers with how important this game is to the Celtics.
20 points for Larry Bird in the first half. Celtics lead 60-49. 16 on the shot clock. 21 in the first half. Lloyd coming around a screen. Outside to Olajuwon, who's fouled again. Parrish and Bird were both defending. It'll be against Robert Parrish, his second foul. But Hakeem has not been able to put together 2 free throws in a row.
He's going to get so many of them, though, Dick, that they're all going to... He's going to score a lot of points from the foul line, but he has got the moves to draw fouls. He moves so quickly to the hoop. He really catches you and destroys your timing playing defense against him.
But if the word gets around, as Rodney McRae comes into the game for Ralph Sampson, that you're better off fouling Olajuwon like they used to do with Will Chamberlain many times, who struggled from the line. He's going to have to work at the line to really extend his game. So Sampson goes out of the ball game. He has scored 15, and the Celtics call a 20-second timeout. And our chance to remind you that Game 3 of the NBA Finals will come your way Sunday at 3:30 Eastern Time, when the scene shifts from Boston Garden, where it's steamy, to air-conditioned and more modern Summit in Houston, Texas, as the Celtics go against the Rockets. And Tommy, the Celtics had the best home record in the NBA this year, but the Rockets had the second-best home mark.
I think it's great. Look at the temperature here, Dick. It's like... and it's humid here for the Celtic big guys, but I think the Summit means an awful lot to the Rockets. That building there represents home to them. They feel they're going to win there. That's what a young team needs, a place where they feel they can win.
Rockets lost only 5 games at home this year. And they will go in also undefeated in the playoffs, 7-0, when they face the Celtics on Sunday. So here's Olajuwon.
I tell you, the Celtics are running 2- and 3-man at this man, trying to cut off his attack angle to the basket.
He only has one offensive rebound. He had 7 in game 1. So the Celtics playing for the last shot, leading by 10. Go off the court with the biggest lead in the game. Larry Bird short. Olajuwon has the rebound, and that'll do it. That's the end of the first half here at Boston Garden. Celtics led by 1 after the first 12 minutes, and they stretched their lead as Ralph Sampson had to retire with a cut eye. But the Twin Towers are scoring, and the Celtics are doing it the balanced way, leading by 10 at the half.
Live from Boston, CBS Sports coverage of the 1986 NBA Finals is sponsored by Renault Jeep, official vehicles of the NBA. Armor All, it's the finishing touch every time you wash your car. And by Liberty Mutual for your auto, home, life, and business insurance.
Only
America again. And by Hewlett-Packard, the people who turn your business computing problem into a business computing solution.
The Celtics lead by 10 at halftime, and here's basically how they did it with this kind of shooting display. Mostly Bird and McHale. They were uncanny in the first half, and the problem for the Houston Rockets has been in the backcourt because the Twin Towers have done their job, but not so much 9 for 9. But what did Bill Fitch say about Larry Bird and the Rodney McRae matchup for going in?
Well, Bill Fitch said that if the Rodney McRae matchup, the margin between McRae and Bird was close, that they would wear championship rings. It's not there tonight in the first half. He only scored 2 points. Peterson, who also played quick forward, scored 4.
That's game number 1, where McRae did a tremendous job with Larry Bird, who had a fine game. But tonight, Bird has 20. McRae has 2. Peterson has also played Larry Bird, but it hasn't been the way Bill Fitch would like. Moments ago, Pat O'Brien had talked, and we do not have that tape with Bill Fitch, so we will not find out what Bill Fitch had to say coming out of the dressing room as we get set for the second half.
But I think he has to be very concerned with that fast break. They got it going, but they couldn't keep it going, and that's where their big people will pay off on the offensive glass and also easier low post opportunities. And their passing in the fast break, I think, has been their biggest problem in the first half.
Leading scorer in the ball game. It's Hakeem Olajuwon with 17 and Larry Bird with 20. Last lead for the Rockets was at 30-29. Just before the end of the first period, the Celtics' biggest lead was 11. Taking advantage, the Twin Towers, 5 stitches under the eye, left eye of Ralph Sampson. Hakeem Olajuwon having a good first half as well. Rockets scored only 20 points in the second period. There's Larry Bird. Good pass back to Kevin McHale.
When they get you moving one way, you better watch out. It's coming back the other way.
Double and triple on Hakeem, and Robert Reed will have to do just that if they play that defense.
And a big confidence builder for him and the other Rockets to get it out to him.
Only his second basket of the ball game. They want to try and get Sampson into bigger foul trouble. McHale. Another one of the moves that Kevin McHale takes out of the repertoire.
And they could have called a foul on Sampson. He shoved him with the arm.
Inside, McRae knocked away. Harris has possession of it.
And Bird got away with an illegal defense that time in a low post.
McHale knocked away by Sampson. Finally, Olajuwon makes the steal into the hands of Lewis Lloyd. Lloyd, too, has to get untrapped. Hakeem. And it drops. Olajuwon with his first points of the second half.
I'll tell you, he's cut that fall the way down.
He had 40 points against the Lakers, his playoff high, 33 in game 1. Soccer goalie, and you can see what kind of quick hands he has.
He's got hands right and left that he uses. Most players really have one hand.
Bird pulls up, and inside the rebound by Olajuwon. The rebounds were even in the first half, but the Rockets got off a lot more shots.
That's a good sign for them, but they've got to run that break a little bit better.
Olajuwon misses. Ainge the rebound. quickly looks down court.
That's the difference between the Celtics and the Rockets.
Harris. You mean the fact that they quick look down court for the play?
Yep, and if somebody's open, he'll get the ball.
Sampson to McRae inside. Rodney McRae with only his second basket of the ball game. And the lead is cut to 8, 64 to 56. Celtics in front, 9:35 to go early here in the third.
Boston wants to control the tempo. They'll slow it down a little bit.
They won game one, 112 to 100. McRae on Bird, who's isolated, one side. There's help. Ainge, the other corner. Celtics did that effectively in game one.
And move the ball beautifully on the double teams. Get it out and then find the open man.
And they hit the shot. Sampson against Parrish. No one near the boards for a possible offensive rebound.
A little bump by Parrish that time made Ralph lose his balance.
And Lewis Lloyd picks up his 4th personal foul. So Bill Fitch has to find an answer in the backcourt where Lloyd and Reed haven't done it yet.
This world calls for good times.
From London
This world calls for sharing them now.
to Stockholm
This world calls
to
for
Tokyo. Lowenbrau, the only beer brewed in the great beer drinking countries.
Brewed in England,
Sweden,
Canada,
Japan,
and here in America.
For 600 years of Bavarian heritage in one smooth American beer.
Plymouth shows you why the pride is back. Plymouth Reliant K, 6-passenger room, Plymouth's 550 protection plan. Front-wheel drive Reliant K.
The pride is back. Born in America again.
Only Plymouth gives you real American values with 5.8 financing or $500.
This is Joelle, Joe for short. Just 1 year ago, she lay dying from a narcotic overdose. But Joelle was lucky. She was given a remarkable antidote developed by DuPont that literally saved her life. The rest, however, was up to her. At the Pharmaceuticals Division of DuPont, we think of our antidote as a sort of second chance. Joelle got that chance, and oh, what she's done with it.
DuPont. Better things for better living.
Tuesday, an Emmy Award-winning special that takes you to the outer limits of genetic research, which may extend our lifespans beyond imagination. The Body Human, the Living Code.
You're watching Game 2 of the NBA Finals here at ancient Boston Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, where the Celtics, who won Game 1 at home, are leading here in Game 2, 66 to 56, with 9 minutes to go in the third period. Dick Stockton with Tom Heinsohn, Brent Musburger, Pat O'Brien, and Irvin Magic Johnson. Larry Bird with 20 leads the Celtics. Akeem Olajuwon with 19 is the high score for Houston. Weren't able to get Pat O'Brien's interview with Bill Fitch, but he relayed what Bill Fitch said. Tommy?
Pat said that Bill said that the shot selection concerned him, and their fast break, particularly the passing on the fast break, in my opinion, wasn't working. The Heat hasn't hurt him, according to Bill Fitch.
But go back to that fast break story. Dennis Johnson missing, and there's Parrish with the offensive rebound. Dennis Johnson penetrating inside. McHale into the corner to Johnson. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Celtics don't have to rush. Parrish. Dennis Johnson hit in the eye, and they're going to call a foul. Not intentional, but he got hit nonetheless.
But you see the importance of Dennis Johnson, who came up with that offensive rebound. He used to be a center in college. Well, he's not afraid to get in there and mix it up. Watch Olajuwon's hands. When I said he uses both hands, right and left, that time he used the right hand to hit Dennis right in the eye.
Olajuwon gets hit with his second foul, and Casey Jones says, let's take time out and work with DJ.
An idea can happen anytime. When you work for Hewlett-Packard, you don't just sell business computing systems, you solve problems. So when you have an idea, you do something about it. You never stop asking, what if?
You know that electronic mail project for the bank?
What if we used HP methods?
Man, you better not come on too strong if you want to take me out tonight. I had enough of Mr. Wrong. I want to be with Mr. Right.
Don't let you-know-what make you Mr. Wrong. Get the right spray.
I had enough of Mr. Wrong. I want to be with Mr. Right. Mr. Right. You know them all.
They believe in liberty, Liberty Mutual Insurance. Families that put their confidence and trust in our experience.
We're Liberty Mutual for your auto, home, life, and business insurance.
Believes in liberty, Liberty Mutual Insurance.
First time in the NBA Finals for the Houston Rockets owner, Charlie Thomas, who is here tonight in Boston Garden along with his wife, Kitsy. Quite animated is she, enjoying the game. And Tommy Heinsohn, the Rockets had talked to you about the coaching job before Bill Fitch took it several years ago, and so you know something about Charlie Thomas.
A nice man, and I'll tell you, he really didn't know an awful lot about basketball when he bought the team, but he sure learned. And I'll tell you this, he didn't have the mustache when I saw him, but if I'd known he was that lucky with the flip, I probably would have rethought that whole situation.
You're being too kind, Tom. The Celtics showing excellent balance here, and Dennis Johnson back in the ball game following the timeout. Keep in mind that Parrish was their leading scorer with 23 in game one. He's only hit 3 of 10 tonight, but others take up the slack, and that's been the Boston story this year. 8:25 to go. Larry Bird is pushed, and Rodney McRae picks up his third personal foul.
Boy, and Larry Bird just gave Dennis Johnson a wink. That was a heck of a pass that Bird threw to Bird, that Johnson threw to Bird. McRae had to foul him to stop 2.
Now Sampson guarding McHale, who has a book of moves. Dennis Johnson shows that his eye and head is all right, hits the jump shot. Now the Rockets in the forecourt. 12-point lead for the Celtics. And a steal. Bird took it away from Olajuwon. Bird finds Parrish. And the Celtics have opened up a 14-point lead, their biggest of the game, and this may be one of those spurts we've seen so often.
You better not go to sleep on defense when they're pushing the ball up, Rockets.
Inside, McRae, shot blocked by McHale. To Bird, 3-on-3, Boston. Dennis Johnson. Bird. They just look for the open man, and they know if you get open, you'll be there, you'll get the ball, and you can shoot it.
But they come up the court so wide to the sideline. They spread out your defense. Beautiful fast break.
Bird, 3. Three-pointers for Larry Bird. And it's 73-56. Sampson in a crowd. He's fouled, but the Celtics have put on a tremendous spurt here in the third period with 7:06 to go, have opened up a big margin.
We're going to see some great defense by Larry Bird. You know, he's forcing them to shoot from outside, getting in front of Olajuwon so he can pick off passes like that. Olajuwon fouls him, he gets away with it. And Bird just attacks the basket. I'll tell you this man, when he has you down, he's going to keep you down and keep pouring it on.
As Sampson, this is the free throw. The foul was on McHale, his third. What does game 2 mean for the Rockets? Well, if they were to win here in Boston Garden, they would do something that only one other team had done all year, and then they would go home for 3 games and change the complexion of it. If the Celtics win, they have a 2-0 lead. And now the Rockets virtually must win all their home games. And then still must win another game in Boston. Larry Bird. Celtics have scored 9. The free throw broke the string, and Larry Bird keeps it going. 75-57. Whistle. No basket. Now they say the basket by Olajuwon will count. Let's see. Ainge is called for the foul. No basket. No basket. Seasting comes in for Ainge, who goes out with his 4th personal foul. Ainge has scored 10.
Bill Fitch says whenever they double, they get a piece of the ball, the Celtics. Look at that.
They got a piece of it again. They are smothering the Rockets inside. Olajuwon coming out to meet Bird. No basket. Foul on Hakeem.
Larry Bird baited Olajuwon into that foul. As soon as he saw Olajuwon, he was going to make him play him and tantalize him with the ball. He did it.
Someday, Hakeem won't go for that. But in his second year, he did. Dennis Johnson misses a 3. And McRae coming down with it. Mitchell Wiggins hitting from the corner.
You see, they get the rebound, dribble the ball up the court, and then pass it as they get near the foul line. It allows an extra Celtic defender to get up to stop the fast break.
Under 6 minutes to go, third period. A big period for the Celtics, who slowly moved away from the Rockets. Seasting got free and hit from the top of the circle. Timeout, Houston.
The new Honda Reflex. It'll take you places you've never been before. And back.
It's brewed in America and in other great beer-drinking countries. It's the only beer that must, by license and authority, always use Bavarian hops for flavor. And be sent back to Munich to be tested by German brewmasters, tested for taste and quality. It's Lowenbrau. And that's how you get 600 years of Bavarian heritage in one smooth American beer.
This world calls for Lowenbrau right now.
Only Chrysler gives you real American values. Get $500 or $1,000 back on LeBaron GTS and Laser XT, the cars that took on and beat the world's best. LeBaron GTS outperformed Europe's luxury performance sedans BMW 528e and Mercedes 190e. In slalom and cornering, Laser XT outhandled one of the world's great handling sports cars, Porsche 944. For real American values, only Chrysler gives you $500 or $1,000 cash.
It was in the third period of game one that the Celtics broke open the game with tremendous inside defense, and Tommy Heinsohn, they're doing it again tonight, right now.
They challenge you to beat them with smarts. And when you're not shooting well from the outside, this is the consequence. They surround anybody down in that low post, and you better be able to find an open man. They didn't do it. They come up with the steal and the block.
McHale and Bird. The shooting story. Now, the Rockets had closed the lead to 8, and the Celtics are on a 13-3 run. Larry Bird is 25 points. Red Auerbach said yesterday he doesn't come to play, he comes to win. He baited Hakeem Olajuwon into a foul. Sampson off the side of the backboard. Hakeem comes up with it. Passes to Sampson. Knocked away. McRae misses outside. Sampson goes in strong and finally scores for the Rockets.
That was hanging tough, as they say. A couple of good offensive rebounds that time by the Rockets. That's what they need to do. Hang in here now. Take the tough blow of the Celtics, shrug it off, and get back in it.
And they've got enough time. McRae all over Bird. Bird misses a three-point attempt. Knocked away, and it's still Celtics ball.
I tell you, that was another good rebound by Dennis Johnson. Forced Reed to bat it out of bounds.
The Celtics are getting the loose balls. They're hustling just an inch more than the Rockets, and they're elbowing inside, as you might expect. Sampson and McHale, who sets a pick for Johnson. Dennis Johnson goes in, gets the basket and a foul. Boy, does he use his body in a penetration situation so well.
The Celtics don't penetrate an awful lot, but when they do, they usually make something happen because they don't have the speed. And here's what happened, a hoop and a foul on Akeem Olajuwon. That's the judgment of when to go for the block and when not to go for the block that Casey Jones is trying to play on.
And Akeem Olajuwon has 4 personal fouls. So Olajuwon has 4. Ralph Sampson has 2. Akeem has 19. 37 points between them. And Sampson goes up, travels. And Jim Peterson will come into the ball game for the Rockets. Let's talk about the foul situation right now. Akeem just picked up his 4th. Lloyd has 4. Ainge, the only Celtic with 4 fouls, and Olajuwon will get a much-needed breather right here. 19-point lead for the Celtics, 80-61, trying to make it 2-0 en route to Houston.
It's a good way for the Rockets right now to get back in and get up on Dennis Johnson and get aggressive defensively.
All of them seem to be getting up on the Celtics, all 5. Like McRae right there. Peterson gets the rebound. Good defense by Houston. They're going to need a lot more of that.
But no outlet pass to start the fast break.
Peterson trying to knock Johnson into a pick. Jim Peterson missing. Wiggins there. Rockets not able to hit shots. And we'll have a Houston foul. They're reaching for the Celtics, who are getting the rebound. And the foul will be against Wiggins, number 3 on Mitchell. Houston has not hit shots when they were open tonight.
Well, that's been part of the story, Dick. And Bill Fitch, I don't think was happy with his team in any department of the game in the first half. And can't be very happy here in the second half either.
And that's why Casey Jones has the luxury of calling on David Thurkill. And here's the hand for Larry Bird. Points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists for the MVP for the 3rd consecutive year.
And he does a tune on your brain. Takes the strength of your game and uses it against you on offense like a karate man.
So Thurkill, good defensive player in the ball game now. Can't do anything against McRae, and you can expect McRae maybe to see the ball a lot more. He has scored only 6 so far. McHale against Peterson. Manny helped recruit at Minnesota, but there's Parrish. Loose ball, Seasting. Celtics are getting the loose balls all over the floor. McHale, no good. Sampson comes down with it with 3:20 to go in the 3rd. 19-point lead. McRae goes in. Former Louisville star. He won a national championship before the current edition.
McHale did not get up the court, Dick. He was arguing with the official. That's how that fast break worked for the Rockets.
Peterson fouls McHale. Rockets are in the penalty. That kind of night for Bill Fitch so far.
When things are going bad, it really goes bad. You even run into your own guy's elbows. Watch this. Peterson right in the eye from Mitchell Wiggins. Now, guys, you got to get it together.
2 fouls on Peterson, and here's Kevin McHale. The thing about the Celtics, they have so many ways to go. Larry Bird, with a brief respite, comes back. Thurkill goes out. That's all Larry Bird needed. You know what Bird said yesterday when he got the award? He says, I'm ready for the season, next season, to start next week.
Well, they had a couple of, more than a few days off in between each series because they finished him so early, so he should be well rested. And he hasn't had any injuries in the latter part of the year.
Compared to a year ago, what a difference that year made. Reed misses in a penetration. Bird the rebound.
Boy, he just carves out room for those defensive rebounds. Wow.
84-65, the Celtics in front. Nearly 2.5 to go. Bird saved it from going out of bounds. Dennis Johnson's mad because of the pass. Wiggins winds up with it, and Mitchell Wiggins is fouled by Dennis Johnson. And the two of them stare. As long as that's all it is.
Well, he went for the ball, and so it's not a breakaway foul.
And this man quietly wins 60 games for 4 years. 2 different teams.
You know, let me tell you a little bit about Casey Jones. He's such an introvert when he was a player with the Celtics that a friend of ours, in order to help him get out of his shell, introduced him to the Toastmasters Club so he would feel free about going out and speaking in public. And now he's singing in places like Symphony Hall.
And you know what? That's kind of a release for him to do that. He's a crooner.
Really sing. You should see him dance, too. Taught me how to dance.
Sorry I wasn't around to see that.
You saw me on the sideline. I learned all those steps from Casey.
Like I said, sorry I wasn't around to see that. 84 to 67. Wiggins on Seaston. 2:12 remaining in the period. Parrish goes up on top. There's Bird again. Seaston wide open. McHale tips it in.
Larry Bird. This game is Larry Bird's. I mean, he's doing everything.
Into Sampson. Out to Reed on the fake. But when the Celtics make those shots, the Rockets miss them. And the Celtics come back quickly. Bird finds an open Dennis Johnson. Peterson the rebound. The thing about the Celtics is that when they're open, they'll shoot. They don't have to think about passing. Rodney McRae on the break.
I'll tell you, but Larry Bird had both those rockets. They didn't spread it quite enough, and Larry Bird foot faked them into a jump shot. They should have got a layup out of that fast break.
Celtics had a 10-point lead at the half after a 1-point lead after the first 12 minutes. They've opened it up to 19 points. Now down to 17 with 1:20 to go, and Celtics with a very impressive third period here in game 2. Bird. What a pass from Dennis Johnson. He thread the needle.
Oh, they love to run that play.
And another turnover off the hands of Wiggins.
Dennis Johnson will challenge anybody on the dribble.
Now the Rockets, way behind, have to think of ways to try to get it together before they go home, don't you think? They're way out of it right now.
I think the best strategy for Bill Fitch was what he told me is, I hope Larry gets tied up in traffic before the game.
McHale with 23. Olajuwon witnessing. This Boston Celtic clinic here in the third period. Trey goes out to Dennis Johnson. 4-on-2. Seasting in the corner. They want this game too, and that's why at the outset we said the Celtics regard it as a must game, and they play that way. Blocked out of bounds, and last off the rim it'll be Boston ball. He missed the stuff. Everything going wrong for the Rockets, but the Celtics are making it happen.
You know, and this is a big blowout happening here. They got to try and crawl back so Bill Fitch will be able to talk about it when they get back to Houston, so his team won't get too demoralized.
8 on the shot clock. Bird's been marvelous. How's that?
Wow.
29.
A master of the half-inch.
Peterson misses. That's the end of the period. Listen to him. That's the end of the third period with the score. The Celtics 94, the Rockets 69. We'll return to the Garden after this word from your local station.
Pepperdine is the defending champion. USC is the favorite. The NCAA Men's Volleyball Championship, Saturday on CBS Sports.
This is CBS.
It's your money, son. But if you want my advice, buy another Subaru.
Sure, Dad.
I thought we agreed you'd buy a Subaru.
But, Dad, I did. The new Subaru XT Coupe.
Test drive a new 1986 Subaru at your local dealer today.
I'm not saying it's the school's fault, but they should offer more courses in learning how to get jobs.
Unprepared.
A lot of jobs are not available for young people.
Untried.
I'm not asking for a whole lot of hours. I'm just asking for some money to keep in my pocket to keep me out of trouble.
Unemployed. Sunday morning at 8:30, the subject of minority youth unemployment is open for discussion.
Give them a chance. That's the only way you would really know whether it's worth your time or not. Just give us a chance.
Live from Boston, CBS Sports coverage of the 1986 NBA Finals is sponsored by Plymouth, a division of Chrysler Corporation. Plymouth, the pride is back. Born in America again. Schick. When the beard is back, you gotta get Schick. And by Milky Way. A Milky Way a day helps you work, rest, and play.
And welcome back to the fourth period of the 1986 NBA Finals on CBS. The Boston Celtics trying to make it 2-0 over the Houston Rockets with 3 games coming up in Houston, and here's the way the game has gone. The Twin Towers scored 18 of the 30 points. The Celtics led by 1 after 1 period. Then Larry Bird had 13 of his 20 in halftime as the Celtics moved it up to 60-50. But then in the third period, it was Bird with a spectacular performance. McHale and Dennis Johnson combining, and they outscored the Rockets 34-19 to take this big lead. And here is Larry Bird at his best.
Well, he uses fakes. I'll tell you, he doesn't beat anybody with speed, but he gets you to commit to where he wants you to go to create an opening for him. And I'll tell you, he reads individual defense the best I've ever seen, and double teams the best I've ever seen.
All right, let's see how the Rockets respond fourth period, because they have been disrobed, to say the least, in that third period.
They've got to get their morale back, the Rockets, in this fourth quarter.
Steve Harris, a rookie, has come in the ball game. Good outside shooter, who they have a lot of hope for. Misses there. Olajuwon feeding Peterson. Good pass by Akeem. And Peterson, off the bench, has 6 in the ball game.
Number 20, Steve Harris.
Steve Harris, spring being rookie out of Tulsa, into the ball game. First appearance. Bird inside to Dennis Johnson. Seasting finds an opening and gets it over Olajuwon for 2 more.
What patience by the Celtics that time. The Rockets, with their inexperience, might have thrown that ball away. The Celtics save it till they get a good shot.
Olajuwon. Ball knocked away by Bird. The team recovers. Out to Level. Level and Harris make up the backcourt. Level to Peterson. Blocked by Bill Walton in the game. And Walton's hit by McRae. That's 4 on McRae. And Walton strong inside.
You know, in the third and fourth quarters, the Celtics, particularly in the third quarter, that defense, when it rises its ugly head for the other team, I mean, you're hoping that thing would re-dive into the depths, because they're really, really tough.
It was a 13-3 spurt when they put the clamps on. Bird and Walton keeps it alive. Little fancy pass. Seasting from Bird.
Bird carries out the game plan.
And the Rockets want to know what hit him.
Get Seasting involved in the offense.
Olajuwon coming back. Akeem with 21 points. Sampson on the bench. He had 5 stitches below his left eye. He has scored 18 points, but had 15 at the half. Here's Harris. Block shot by Akeem, and he stepped on the line. Houston ball. And we'll have an official timeout now with 9:46 to go, and a long uphill road for the Houston Rockets.
Tom Seaver's 300th game winner was a great pitch.
Ooh, that's not a bad pitch either. That's why I love golf. It gives me a chance, unlike the American League, to hit the old long ball. Top flight. It's the longest ball. When I step up to the tee and swing away at a top flight, it feels as good as hitting a grand slam. I guess.
Top Flight XL, Top Flight Plus, the longest balls.
Who said pitchers can't hit?
The beard is back. The beard is back. It's back again. I need to get, you better get, gotta get shit.
When the beard is back, Schick Disposable is always ready for close, clean shaves. Shave after shave.
I need to get, you better get, gotta get shit.
Everyone plays basketball, but in the NBA, they play it better than anyone. America's game. It's fantastic.
Well, the Houston Rockets need a change of scenery fast, and they're going to get it for our Game 3 coming up Sunday at 3:30 Eastern Time. Celtics and the Rockets in the NBA Finals. And tonight, the Boston Celtics have put on a show worthy of prime time anytime.
I don't think we're going to see Bill Walton diving for a loose ball. Saves it to Bird. We had Magic here at halftime. Look at Walton. We had Magic at halftime. Well, we've got Mr. Hocus Pocus here. Watch this little move. Little fake. Lifts the man. Finds the opening. And Seasting gets back into the game plan. Nice up fake. Casey Jones wanted Seasting to get some offense into this game tonight.
And he's done it, Tommy. 5 of 7 for Seasting and 10 points. There's a view of Steve Harris.
I don't think the Rockets have capitalized on him, Seasting, quite as much as they might have with Reed.
I think that the evidence that Harris and Level are in there shows you what Bill Finch's feeling is of the starting guard performances of the Rockets. Level, this is a three-point attempt out of bounds, still Houston ball. Fact is that Reed and Lloyd just haven't done it tonight for the Rockets. And there they are on the bench. Reed 2 for 8, Lloyd 4 out of 9. Neither of them really ever got into this.
I don't think Lloyd really played that bad, though, offensively.
Well, he's a good open court player, and the break wasn't there. Now Level hits outside, and his first basket of the game. 98-75, Celtics. A little more than less than 3 minutes gone by here in the fourth period, and Walton playing up on top to move Akeem away from the boards. Dennis Johnson now looking for help. Harris. They like Harris operating against Peterson inside. Walton crashing the glass. Harris does it, but Walton made it happen. Johnson to Bird. The cutter is Dennis and Walton. Finally, McRae out to Level, but the Celtics are back defensively. Seasting playing Level very well indeed. Olajuwon. Peterson on the offensive glass, blocked by Harris. Out of bounds, Celtics ball.
I'll tell you that inside defense by Walton and Parrish. Forget the offense that they're going to give the Celtics, but they really control the lanes and any kind of penetration.
The guard story has heavily favored the Celtics. In fact, the Twin Towers, who've had a good first half, have only 7 points between them here in the second. Bird, and another great pass.
A la Bill Walton. He loves to pass the Bird.
Wants to win another championship. He did with the Trailblazers in '77. Off the hands of Harris, out of bounds, as McHale comes back. Kevin McHale returning to the ball game, and Parrish sits down.
Passing was the thing that concerned Bill Fitz the most after game 1, and it hasn't improved that dramatically for the Rockets in this game.
The Rockets were expecting a better performance. They have from the Twin Towers in 1/2, but the rest of it hasn't been there. 100-75, a 25-point lead for the Celtics. 7:48 remaining. Walton behind his back to Bird. They can afford to do this now, and Walton is limping as he comes up court and wants a 20-second timeout, and we'll get it. Now, Walton missed a couple of games in the Atlanta series with injury.
With a twisted knee. And let's see what trainer Ray Melchiori is going to do. Talking to Walton. Bangs knees here on the cut with Bird.
He's had problems with that knee in the past, and he is going to come out of the ball game now. Casey Jones walking him off.
Here's a heads-up pass from Walton, who is leaving the game. You're going to see anybody cutting to the hoop. Walton is as alert as Larry Bird is to find him. Watch Dennis Johnson's pick make it happen. Just knocks off Rodney McRae and allows, and Wiggins does not switch, or Harris, the rookie, didn't switch to pick up Bird. They made him pay.
Kite comes back in, so does, well, Ainge will be coming back in a moment. Seasting will go out of the game, and he'll get a hand. An ice pack on the right knee of Bill Walton as he comes out of the ball game. 7:40 remaining, 100-75, the Celtics. They've turned their game up a notch in game 2, and the Rockets have not responded. Level goes for 3 and hits. Crowd quieted a bit by Walton's injury and the fact that the Celtics have a huge lead here.
Yeah, what they have to do right now, this group of the Rockets, is peck away, and play some real aggressive defense and get down there and press a little bit.
Seasting goes up, and the rebound by Olajuwon, but the Celtics continue to get virtually every loose ball on the floor. Steve Harris with a good move. He went around Dennis Johnson and pulled up. Sampson on the bench with the stitches under his eye and 18 points. And we'll take a timeout with 6:52 to go. A big Boston lead.
Giving that extra effort makes winners. The All-You-Can-Be, sponsored by the U.S. Army. No one defines an impact player better than Philadelphia's Charles Barkley. At just 6'6", Barkley outmuscles taller players for an outstanding rebounding average. This bruising reputation often intimidates the opposition, especially when its 260-pound frame builds a full head of steam. His great talents are matched by a zest for the game, driving Charles Barkley to be the best he can be.
Hey, that was a great answer. Where'd you learn about computers?
In the Army.
You were in the Army?
Yeah.
And now they're helping pay your way through college.
How come you know so much?
How do you think I got here?
Qualify for the GI Bill and the Army College Fund and earn $17,000 for college for only a 2-year enlistment, or $25,200 for a 4-year enlistment.
What you doing here?
Airborne.
You were airborne?
Find your future in the Army.
You used to jump out of airplanes?
The lights of Boston at night, and the Celtics have lit up the Boston Garden scoreboard to the tune of 100-80. They led 100-75. We have 6:52 remaining in the fourth period. And Tommy Heinsohn, it is still too early to talk about this game being history, because you have seen many times 20-point leads going down the drain, although not likely with the Celtics. Tell me, what's the psyche of the Houston Rockets coming into this series and knowing they've got 3 at home? What does this game mean to them right now?
I think it's not as important a game as people think it would be. They didn't expect perhaps to win one here. They hoped to sneak one out. It didn't happen. They have the 3 games coming up in Houston. What's the most important thing is that they have to make it respectable in their own minds. And and what Bill Fitch is doing right now is putting in some players that maybe will, because of they haven't played in this series, they've got a little enthusiasm to go out and press and scrap a little bit harder than maybe some of the starters at this point.
It's got to be discouraging for these Rockets, because they lost the first game when they had a shot in the 3rd period. Now Bill Fitch has a mission, because he said, look, don't look at it as a loss, game 1. Look at it as a missed opportunity. But he can't say that 4 times.
Well, I think their main problem, Dick, is revolves around getting all that speed in operation and making it work consistently for long stretches of the game.
Ainge is in for Seasting. 100-80. Rockets have scored 5 in a row. Harris is guarding Dennis Johnson. Turnaround, good defense by Harris, and a good outlet by Olajuwon to Steve Harris. And this is the layup. There was two the Rockets let get away.
Well, you know the old story.
When it rains, it pours.
Things go bad, it goes bad.
Reed had stepped on the line going for the loose ball. It's the Houston bench. Nail-biting time, it's not.
I think you're right there. But, you know, if a Harris could do well for the Rockets at this stage, Bill Fitch will feel a little bit freer in playing him because he's really a good shooter.
Someone else to go to if Lloyd doesn't do it. Right?
That's right.
Danny Ainge, though, hits a three-pointer. 13 points for Ainge. Larry Bird has hit three-point shots tonight en route to a 31-point effort. The leading scorer for the Rockets is Olajuwon with 21. Second was Sampson with 18. But Ralph has been on the bench a long while. Harris gets it into Akeem, guarded by Kite. Oh, rebound, Reed. Trying to tip it up there is Harris out of bounds. And it's still Houston ball. NBA Commissioner David Stern. And you want to talk about a guy who has really done wonders with a league, any league. David Stern has worked miracles, I think, with the NBA.
I think all that, those good negotiations with the Players Association has really turned a lot of things around for the league.
Reed hits the jumper, and the marketing and all that have turned this into a thriving enterprise. 103-82 with 5:15 remaining in the fourth period. Level trying to harass Ainge. And a foul against Level. In 1981, the last time these teams met in the championship, the Rockets, who were surprise finalists because they beat Kansas City in the Western Finals, knocked off LA in the first round, won game 2 at Boston Garden. Dennis Johnson goes up, but there's Greg Kite with the follow-up. And we have 5 minutes to go. It's 105-82 Boston.
Well, you know, Greg Kite has played, as I said, Olajuwon a lot down in Houston in the summer months. And I want to tell you something. The last time Olajuwon had the ball, he played the best I've seen anybody the Celtics play him.
Peterson on Level's miss. Gets the shot.
You know, Kite could be important should Walton injury to his knee be a problem. So Kite getting his legs under him, so to speak, in this series, pretty important for Casey Jones.
4:29 to go. Ainge going strong inside, and Akeem the rebound. Rockets have not been able to break the way they wanted to. Here's an example of what they can do if they break and get it out in a hurry. Peterson's in double figures. He has 10 points and 8 rebounds, and another good effort off the bench.
Half their fast break problems, Dick, is the outlet pass. They don't get it out quick enough so that an extra couple of Celtic defenders can get back to protect against it.
McHale misses, and Greg Kite is in there to tip it in. So if Fred Auerbach's team and Don Gaston, one of the owners here, they have to be a man. If Walton can't go, Kite is showing that he can be counted on. 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining here in a hot and steamy Boston night inside the Garden. And Dennis Johnson pours salt on the wound with his 18th point.
Well, he says, I've got a rookie here. I'm going to show him who's boss.
Celtic guards have pummeled the Rocket guards in the scoring department.
How do you get experience? By making mistakes.
Peterson. Harris crashing the boards. Dennis Johnson winding down to 3 minutes remaining in the game. Celtics said this is a must game for us, and they played it like that. And a blocking foul called against Peterson. And Casey Jones is going to empty his bench and listen to the hands of the heroes here. Bird, 31. Dennis Johnson, 18. Danny Ainge, 13 points.
Well, you know, you see guys assume responsibility for a win. That's what Larry Bird did here tonight. He put this win on the board with his temperament, his poise, and his determination.
Kevin McHale at the line has 2 shots.
Siesting will come back in the ball game, and Kevin McHale hits the free throw. Teams that have come back from a 2-0 deficit in the NBA Finals have been these Boston Celtics. Over the Lakers in 1969, which, by the way, was the last time we had a repeat champion, and the 1977 Portland Trail Blazers, who lost the first 2 to Philadelphia and then won 4 in a row. The Celtics have just missed 1 free throw from the line tonight. Just another example of how they've done it. Harris is fouled. So the Celtics had problems from the line in game 1, not tonight. In the game is Sam Vincent and Rick Carlisle, the backup guards. Third kill in there as well. Kite and Seasting. You're looking at the reserves for Boston.
Can you solve the case of the missing case? Well, now you know what happened. Hey, who's turning out the lights?
There's a case of Miller Lite missing. Who took it?
Well, during May, there'll be clues and entry forms where light is sold. And if you crack the case, you'll get a crack at all kinds of prizes, like a mystery vacation worth 10 grand. And hurry, because the culprit's going to be revealed Sunday, June 1st on network television.
It's no mystery that there's only one light beer, Miller Lite.
You finally get the answer, and now you can't wait to tell someone. Here at Hewlett-Packard, we never stop thinking about how our business computing equipment can be used to solve your company's problems. It's the Hewlett-Packard way of doing things. We're always asking, what if?
I've got it. They need easy access to their database, right? What if we used the personal productivity?
Between my schoolwork and this job parking cars, I really have a full day. That's why I love a Milky Way. Take my mind off work, make plans for the game later. It's great.
You get the goodness of a quarter cup of milk in every bar. There's milk, natural cane and corn sugars, and thick, thick chocolate in a Milky Way bar.
Milky Way, it really helps me out.
A Milky Way day helps you work, rest, and play.
Rockets close the gap to 8 points early in the second half, but the Celtics outscore the Rockets by 17 the rest of the third period to break it open to what we have right now. And Tommy, if the Boston Celtics went into this game saying this is a must game for us, we can't afford a split here, I would say game 3 Sunday at 3:30 Eastern on CBS. Game 3 in Houston is definitely a must for the Houston Rockets.
Well, absolutely, for them to gain that win. All that's really happened here is that the Rockets have, the Celtics have held their serve. The next 3 games in Houston, their territory, I think they can beat them down there. A lot of people have had trouble with the Rockets down in Houston. What really impresses me now is what Bill Fitch is going to say. Bill Fitch is going to say, look, guys, what difference does it make whether you get beat by 30 or 2? We had a loss. We had some mental mistakes. We're back home in Houston. We're going to win it.
Well, they're going to have to get a full game from the Towers. And the Boston Celtics say we've had the answer to the Towers so far in the series, says people like Parrish and McHale. Akeem Olajuwon, only 2 baskets this half. Ralph Sampson has put much of it on the bench. Only 1 basket and very little productivity from the Houston guards. Craig Elo, in his 3rd year, number 3, is into the ball game. Hank McDowell, 6'9", well-traveled forward, also in there for Houston.
Sam Vincent for the Celtics now is the really only penetrator that the Celtics have on their lineup to really get inside. I think it's going to be a heck of an addition next year for the Celtics.
Danny Ainge, a well-executed play coming around. Larry Bird with 31 points and a tremendous all-round game. You saw one of his superb passes. The fans here at Boston Gardens just enjoying the final minutes of this game as Kite blocks Steve Harris, goes up and gets a basket and a foul. So Harris could open the eyes of Bill Fitch in the future.
I'll tell you, Bill Fitch has high esteem for Harris. The highest compliment I think Bill Fitch could pay anybody is that he's like Larry Bird. You give him a job and he gets it done.
Granville Waiters, 6'11" prospect out of Ohio State, who they think could be a backup center, is getting set to come into the game. So everyone's seeing action on both sides. Only injury of note, Bill Walton, knee in the right thigh. Came out of the ball game. Kite finds Vincent inside. The rookie from Michigan State. This is again under 2 minutes to go. And with the reserves in there, they're playing like it's the title. They don't get a chance this often. Here's Carlisle, who was Sampson's teammate at the University of Virginia.
And Ainge is in there to lend a little experience to this group that's Carlisle's playing forward.
Inside, Ainge is fouled, or fouls Peterson. 113 to 90, and Granville Waiters at 6'11" will come in. Ralph Sampson will sit down. So this has been a nightmare for the Houston Rockets. Sampson, and the Rockets will say maybe that when he came out of the game with the 5 stitches, a lot of the oomph went out of the Rockets, but they've got to be able to respond to adversity like that.
Well, that's what an inexperienced team is not capable of doing, and that's where Larry Bird was so important in this game. He just did not let the win slip out of the hands of the Celtics. One way or another, he's going to prove that the Celtics are going to beat you.
Their biggest lead, the Celtics, was 25 points. So this will be the second time in 9 years that a team has won the first 2 games of the NBA Finals. The last time it happened was in 1983. McDowell on the boards is fouled, and in 83, it was the Philadelphia 76ers who not only took the first 2, but they took all 4 games in a sweep over the Lakers for the title. You know, Tommy, the Celtics may be starting to think about that aspect, because if the Celtics go to Houston and win 2, a 15-1 record in the playoffs would be the best ever.
And it would be the best season that any team ever had for a full season, playoffs and regular season. Most wins.
And then people will start to talk about, not yet, where the Boston Celtics fit amongst the greatest of all teams. But again, Tommy, I go back to the comment you made. At this point, the Celtics have held serve. They've won their home game.
That's about the size of it, Dick. I'll tell you this. I expect the Rockets, when they get down there in Houston, to like the home cooking.
Willie
the fans.
Nelson.
Willie Nelson. You know.
But you know, the Celtics like to quiet down the Willie Nelsons and the fans of Houston in a road crowd.
Well, the Rockets are tough to beat down there.
Yes, they are. Lost only 5 this year. Rick Carlisle, long-range hits. Carlisle's a real smart player in his second year. A lot of people wondered how he held on, but he has been a good stabilizer as a young guy. Actually, he's an old second-year guy, if you want to call it that, at age 25.
Well, Rick Carlisle is an excellent shooter, and for a guy, his main problem his rookie year, Dick, was that he was slow, and he used to get beat by the smaller, quicker guards. He's learned to compensate for that. He just backs off a little bit and doesn't get beat with the speed anymore.
49 seconds remaining in the game. 115 to 91. It's been all Boston. 1-point lead after 1, 10 at the half, and they really open it up. 17 after 3. It'll be Rockets ball. Bill Fitch on the sidelines with his assistant coach, Carol Dawson. And you know he'll be looking at a lot of the videotape.
If I were Bill Fitch, I'd forget this one. I'd close the videotape cabinet and forget it and just deal with forget this game, guys. We're going back home.
Credit McDowell with the basket. Hank McDowell goaltending against the Celtics. And what's left of this crowd will give him a standing ovation. "15 seconds to go. It was not the high-intensity game that was anticipated. Game 2 was a Boston Celtic rout. And the Celtics will go to Houston, leading 2-0 in the best of 7. And for a lot of the fans who have hung in here to watch Larry Bird and company, Tommy, this may be the last home game for the Boston Celtics this season.
That man right there is going to have a little something to say about it. Akeem Olajuwon.
Three home games upcoming for the Rockets. But they've got to win 1 before they win 2. And that Sunday game is kind of a now or never affair for the Rockets.
You know, just looking in the eyes of some of those Rockets. Some of them have Let's forget about it in their eyes, and some of them are still concerned about this thing.
Some of them can forget, maybe. All right. Thurkill with the basket. 5 seconds to go. Not much the Celtics couldn't do tonight. And the game is over. The Boston Celtics have won their 40th consecutive game at home, including 3 at Hartford, the rest at Boston Garden, and that man, Larry Bird, with 31 points and a superb all-round game, beat his former coach, Bill Fitch, and it's 2-0 in favor of Boston in the best of 7 before we go to Houston and 3 games. The final score, the Boston Celtics 117, the Houston Rockets 95. Leading scorer for the Rockets was Akeem Olajuwon with 21. Ralph Sampson had 18, but the Towers did very little in the second half, and their guards were practically non-existent offensively tonight. There's Larry Bird, the hero of the evening, and a bunch of heroes for the Boston Celtics. Right now, let's go to Pat O'Brien, who's with Kevin McHale. Pat?
All right, Dick, thank you. Congratulations, Kevin. It's unthinkable now, but you guys were worried about this game with the 2-3-2 situation. Did you not only want to win, but demoralize the Rockets in this game?
We wanted to play well. We came out really fired up tonight. Last year's series was lost right here in the second game. LA didn't play that well. We didn't play well at all, and they took the game from us, and we didn't want that to happen tonight. We came out, and we seem to have played very well in the third quarter, and that continued.
Game 3 becomes important now. Are you thinking sweep or just taking them one game at a time?
You know, we're just thinking game 3 right now. We're thinking Sunday afternoon, an all-out effort, and if we get that one, then they're in such a hole, it's so hard to come back. But, you know, they're going to play well at home. They have a lot of confidence at home. I don't think they've lost at home this year in the playoffs, so they're going to be ready.
All right, Kevin, thank you. Congratulations. And so the Boston Celtics go up 2-0 in this 7-game series, but this road show is going to Houston, and we'll be back in a minute.
Who took the case of Miller Lite? Well, everyone had a motive.
Because light tastes great? Yeah. Or because light's less filling?
I know who did it, and that's your first clue.
It's no mystery that there's only one light beer, Miller Lite.
The greatest invention in travel since the wheel is American Airlines Ultimate Super Savers. Fares from $39 to $159. Discover affordable travel with American Airlines.
Plymouth shows you why the pride is back. Plymouth Voyager, car-like handling, Plymouth's 550 protection plan. Versatile Plymouth Voyager.
The pride is back. Born in America again.
Only Plymouth gives you real American values with 5.8 financing or $500.
And unfortunately, that's the weather picture for tonight.
Roger is a weatherman. He knows the difference between little storms and big storms. And recently, when he saw a big one coming, the first place he went was his Honda generator dealer.
Hey, you're the weatherman. I need a real good generator.
And by the time the storm hit, Roger was prepared. The Honda generator, because you never know what the weather will bring.
Last year, this shot gave Bill Glasson a one-stroke victory. The Kemper Open, this weekend on CBS Sports.
The Boston Celtics win the second game of this NBA Finals by 22 points after putting away the Rockets by 12 in the opener. So now they have won the 2 by 34. 4 of the 5 starters for the Celtics score at least 10 points tonight. Larry Bird, the high point player, with 31, followed by Kevin McHale at 25. So what's up against the Houston Rockets now is the fact that only twice in an NBA championship has a team been able to rally from a 2-game deficit down 2-0 to win it. The most recent example was back in 1977 when the Portland Trail Blazers, who were led by Bill Walton, lost the first 2 in Philadelphia and then won the next 4. So history is definitely lined up against the Rockets here tonight. Game 3, of course, is back down in Houston. And strange things happen in basketball when you change locations. The Rockets, like the Celtics, are much tougher at home. And we will continue from the Boston Garden on CBS in a moment.
Who took the case of Miller Lite? I got another clue for you. I know for certain the culprit drinks Light because it tastes great.
But I know it wasn't me.
It's no mystery that there's only one light beer, Miller Lite.
Just because you've washed your car doesn't mean you're finished. You need some Armor All on the dash, the bumper, and especially the tires. Armor All. It's the finishing touch every time you wash your car.
Road Handler. One of the greatest names in tires. With 2 steel belts and radial construction for outstanding wear. The Road Handler Radio. It's one more way we install confidence at Sears. Right now, save 33% on the Road Handler 45. It's made by Michelin and backed by Sears with a limited tread wear-out warranty for 45,000 miles. And it's on sale now.
There's more for your life
at Sears.
For Dick Stockton, Tommy Heinsohn, Pat O'Brien, and Magic Johnson, I'm Brent Musburger saying so long for the Boston Garden in Boston with the final scores. The Celtics won 17, the Rockets 95. Now on Saturday, CBS Sports coverage of the NCAA Men's Volleyball Championship. Plus on a special edition of Sports Saturday, Cyclanes punishing one-day competition will come your way from France, all starting at 2:30 Eastern Time. Join us on Sunday for Game 3 of this series from Houston, Texas. CBS has been a presentation of CBS Sports. So long, everybody.